Hey everyone, hope you liked the last episode, as this one also delivers on the action. I just love how every episode feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni really do get Star Wars, and are essentially carrying the entirety of the franchise on their backs. Now, let's get into the breakdown for episode 4.
I shall do what I must, Obi-Wan.
We begin with Mando and the child fixing the ship, and failing. The child ends up doing the exact opposite of what Mando instructs. Mando drinks soup and lifts his visor, just a bit for that to happen. Who knows, maybe he will remove his helmet and abandon the way? Not likely, but he is softening up. Then they decide to visit Cara Dune and Greef Karga on Nevarro, the planet where everything began in Season 1. Here the Razor Crest should get fixed properly, like new, on their voyage to Corvus to find Ahsoka Tano. As they disembark, the blue-eyed creature, as one of the technicians, looks shocked. At first, I thought both of the repair crew were just surprised by the daunting task of fixing everything the Mon Calamari mashed together. But turns out that this creature is a spy later in the episode, and in the employ of Moff Gideon. We also see a statue of IG-11 droid in the background, possibly as a commemoration of his sacrifice in the last season. In the beginning of the episode, Cara Dune is cleaning up the scum and villainy of the town in the nearby area, and becomes the reigning marshal of the town. She wipes the floor with the bad guys, and ends up befriending a red-eyed lava meerkat creature that breathes fire. Thanks to her efforts, the town is doing well, and they even have a school for children, with a protocol droid teacher of the same make as C-3PO. Grief suggests that the child will be safe in the classroom, and they leave him there. Nevarro is doing pretty well, trade economy-wise, and this kid's parents can afford to buy industry-packaged macaroons. But wait, which one? Macaroons, spelled with a double O, are a type of cookie. Macarons, with a singular O, are the ones the kid in the classroom eats. The child does a power move with the Force and shows the kid that sharing is caring by taking his pack of macarons for himself. The mithril fugitive from Season 1, Episode 1 is alive and well, albeit not able to see from his left eye, and is working off that sizable 350-year debt by being a clerk at the employ of Greef Karga. As soon as we see him, he almost looks like he's going to turn in the Razor Crest by saying to the Republic that Razor Crest has no identification. It's interesting to note that Han Solo lost his vision for several hours following him being frozen in carbonite for several months in Return of the Jedi. The mithril has probably been unfrozen for a while and is still suffering from the effects of carbonite. The effect seems to vary from species to species. Grief is concerned that there is an Imperial outpost on the other side of Nevarro and wants to get rid of the last Imperial presence on his planet. He thinks it's just a skeleton crew manning the whole outpost, and fears what the black market can do if they get their hands on this base. The base ends up not being empty, and is fully manned by the remnants of the Empire. The base is right on top of a volcano, and there is a force field containing the hot magma. They turn off the force field to sabotage the base and make a run for it, as they only have 10 minutes to get out safely. As the group scurries to get away, they encounter two technicians that have similar uniforms to the cloning facility from Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. The two start destroying all the records before being blasted by the gang. As the group starts to look around, they find a bunch of stasis pods with deformed-looking beings, snoking in liquid. Were these guys precursors to Snoke? Even Snoke's theme is playing in the background. Based on what we know, the Empire was trying to create a living vessel for the Emperor. They find a 3-day-old hologram of Dr. Pershing informing Moff Gideon that all of the cloning trials did not succeed. The blood that was extracted from the child was infused into the test subjects, and the host's bodies ended up rejecting the blood. Dr. Pershing would need more blood from the subject or someone with a higher M count, meaning midichlorian count. We've learned about midichlorians from Episode 1, when Qui-Gon Jinn tested Anakin's blood to find that his midichlorian count was even higher than Grandmaster Yoda's, over 20,000. All that meant was that Anakin had the potential to surpass even Yoda in power. Dr. Pershing says he wants to stop all testing and fears that the test subject will be killed. Interesting how this one specific test subject is more important while all the other ones are dead and marinating in jars. Maybe this test subject is special. Could it be Snoke? Or maybe a new character? They realize Moff Gideon is alive and Mando jets out to get the child quickly before anyone else can, fearing the worst. While the rest of the group, Cara Dune, Grief, and the Mithril, are fighting their way out to get to an Imperial transport repulsor craft, they escape, and once again the stormtroopers are used as a joke as they crash into each other. Cara and Grief have no problem taking care of the survivors, and do experience momentary concern when the last 3 TIE fighters come after them. Mando has a pretty cool dogfight with one of the TIEs, the child throws up the macarons on himself, and all is well. As we come to a close, we see Captain Carson Teva from Season 2, Episode 3, questioning Grief about Razor Crest being reported here, what happened to the Imperial base, and his general suspicion that Grief isn't telling him everything. The core worlds feel that something is happening in secret, and they fear for what is to come. Teva tries to recruit Cara, and we find out that she's from Alderaan and lost everyone when the Death Star blew it up. In the next scene, we see a Quiddens-class light cruiser with an officer who's getting confirmation on the tracker aboard the Razor Crest from the spy on Navarro. The officer informs the spy that she will be rewarded in the new era, or could it be the new order? Maybe we'll get to see how the First Order was formed and how it all came about. The Imperial officer informs Moff Gideon that a tracking device has been placed on the Razor Crest and that the child is alive and well on board. Gideon smiles and looks like he has an ace up his sleeve as the camera pulls back and we see an array of dark stormtroopers. Are they dark troopers that are the advanced battle droids with heavy-plated stormtrooper-looking armor? Or could it be that at the end of the episode we saw the Force-sensitive Shadow Stormtroopers first seen in the game Jedi Knight Jedi Outcast 2? The Shadow Troopers can use the Force and red lightsabers. In that game, Kyle Katarn goes to Kejim Outpost to discover that the followers of Dasan have been trying to infuse the Force into regular beings. This is also similar to what was done to General Grievous. They tried injecting him with the blood of Jedi Master Sifo-Dyas, hoping that the transfusion will grant Grievous Force sensitivity, but in return the results were a failure and the experiment didn't enhance Grievous in any way. Another example is in The Force Unleashed 2. Vader's secret apprentice was cloned hundreds of times, with almost all clones being failures. Each clone was defective and suffered from a host of mental and physical problems. In the next episode, we will meet Ahsoka Tano. I wonder if Gideon has been looking for her, or he will just simply follow Mando and just ends up fighting Ahsoka. The Darksaber versus her white ones. Boba is also waiting in the wings and will reveal himself soon enough. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and all the things to come, if we are correct about the Dark Troopers. Who do you think they are? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a like, and subscribe if you like this video. I'll see you in the next breakdown for Episode 5. I can't wait. Cheers.